There we go. And oh, I forgot one thing. Shoot, this is gonna screw up the live a little bit. Um. All right, let's do this. Sorry about that. For people that are watching this live in the future that saw that, because there's nobody has jumped in yet. I wasn't sure if I was gonna go live today, and to be honest, I'm quite tired. But you know, it's all right though. Like, ironic that the song I'm listening to is "Low" by Mariana's Trench, and just the line is like tired, tired. You know, like just ironic when I was talking about that. But yeah, this is honestly it was a good day, like very good day. You know, I got up early, left here at about 11 o'clock, and then drove up to Edmonton to Ipleupel. And once there, I pulled some sun visors out of a parts car there, so that was cool. And like, cause there's this '79 Mustang that's actually in like really good shape. Somebody cut a piece of the floor out of it though now, so that's kind of a disappointment, but that's all right. It's interesting though that like obviously they needed a patch panel, so that's what they used it for. Is most likely. Um, like, and that car honestly is in good shape. It's kind of a shame that it's in the junkyard, but I'm kind of surprised that Paul didn't try and sell that one, because that thing could have sold pretty easily actually, because not in bad shape at all. And it was a complete car when it came in. It's pretty stripped overall now, but yeah, we'll see. Um, yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure if I was gonna go live to be honest, just because of how tired I am. Like, I'm not doing my workouts tonight though. Like that'll just wipe me completely. But hey, Rob, how's it going? Um, that car is awesome on the highways. Like, that's the reason why I took it, because that car goes down the highway and it just rides like a cloud. It's really funny though whenever you hit a bump on the highway, because like the seats are like super springy, so you kind of like you actually catch a little bit of air in the seat. Or at least I do, anyways, with my lighter frame than say my dad. I'm not sure if he gets air, but I definitely do. You know. Oh yeah, and no, it's not a 302. It's a 400 modified in that car. And it's honestly like it has decent get up and go, and yeah, and like it's a really reliable car now. It was only the one time where it left us stranded, because like my dad has driven it up north with zero issues. He drove it twice. Yeah, he drove it twice up there. Um, oh, cool, a '64 Impala, nice. Is it a 2-door or a 4-door? And what engine does it got, or does it have a drivetrain currently? Because like those are gorgeous cars, honestly. And I mean, obviously, most people know of like those cars, even if they don't know what it looks like, they know that car only because of Eazy-E rapping about that back in the late '80s, early '90s, right? With NWA. And because like cruising down the street in my 6'4", right? Like, it's one of those things, and so it's a very synonymous car that way. But it is 2-door, cool. What drivetrain do you got for it? Like, is it a 327? Is it a 409 car? Was it like a 283 car? Like, what did that one come with? And I am a lesbian, so yeah. Sorry about that, Danny. And yeah, I mean, there is one guy that I know that sells Mustang, or sorry, not Mustang, but like rotary stuff. He's oddly enough, if you're going north on the QE2, uh, around Lacombe, it's on the right side. There's a property with a bunch of rotary stuff, and I know he sells parts and stuff too. I don't know his contact info or anything like that, but I know he does. Um, oh, it's a 409 car. Cool, yeah, and yeah, there's not very many of those 409s made. Oddly enough, like the 409 is one of the coolest engines ever because of the way that the heads are designed with the valve covers. Because the valve cover, you know, it obviously has that weird, like that, right? Going down it, and it's just such a unique look, and you know that 348 409 when you see one. Because there is nothing that looks like it. It's so unique. Oh, soft top too. Ooh, that's really rare. Well, that is really cool. And yes, and rotaries are a headache. We all know. I mean, Ryan has an RX-7 currently, but he might have to sell it, so we'll see. But yeah, I saw your comment there, Rob. Being a convertible, that's cool. Like, I love drop top cars. Like, I owned my own convertible, which was an '86 Mustang LX. Originally the 3.8, swapped into a 302. Or correction, I didn't swap into 302 initially. The 302 got swapped in by the guy I sold it to after I seized the motor, and then he sold it back to me, and that 302 that he swapped in was terrible, and basically everything he did we redid because his wiring was bad. The way that he had the motor like set up was bad, and on and on and on. So we swapped it to a different 302, and that thing runs and drives pretty good. Keeps blowing header gaskets though, but other than that. Cool. It'll be on summer road next summer. Nice. No, that is awesome. Honestly, I like those cars a lot, and like you don't see those Impalas very often anymore. They used to be a little more popular, a few years ago, but now they're kind of a dying breed. So it is nice to see, somebody working on one, right? It's pretty cool. Well, see, here's the thing, Ryan. If you're gonna swap in an engine like that, well, actually, you say the front wheel drive would be an issue. If you're gonna keep it front wheel drive, actually, a rotary would be quite simple because of how tiny that engine is. It would fit in there no problem. You would just need to figure out, how to set up the motor mounts, but that wouldn't be that difficult to do because all you need to do is put basically like rods out where the motor mounts are to somewhere in the core support, like, but you'd have to beef up the core support obviously, and then to the firewall as well. That could work. And then you just need to figure out to adapt it to your transmission and stuff like that. But oh, nice, an '87 Grand National. Oddly enough, I know a guy that he loves those G bodies with the 3.8 turbos and stuff. And he builds them with his dad. They are an absolute awesome vehicle, and obviously it was one of the fastest cars of the '80s. Just behind the GNX, obviously, which, oddly enough, I know a guy that owns the GNX. He's a buddy of mine. His name is Kirby. And it's one of only 2 GNXs in Alberta, I think? Something like that. Am I fixing to sell that Thunderbird? Yeah, that Thunderbird will be for sale, actually. I'll probably write up the ad tomorrow for it. I just need to clean it up, do a video on it, and then get it listed. The Grand National? No, they did not make it for only 2 years. As that's what you're talking about. no, the Grand National was made from 1981 until 87. But the early Grand Nationals, though, weren't actually black, fun fact. They were gray. That was only for the first year. It was either 81 or 82. It may have been 82. And then they made the Grand National, every year until 87. But there's a kitty on my lap. You know? Eh? Well, hey, and oddly enough, the red line of that 13B is going to be like somewhere in the neighborhood of 8,000 RPM, even with it being NA. So, does it have a clean Reggie? Yeah. It is 55. Yeah, about 55,000 kilometers, original kilometers on it, 400 modified in it. I have done a little bit of work just to get it to where it is now, and it's honestly pretty good. There's only a couple minor issues with it, but they're little niggles. Like, one is it needs the tires to be balanced. The other issue is the headlight switch needs to be replaced. Because it's loose in that socket, and I can't get it to, like, tighten back up where it sits in there. So to shut off the lights after you turn it on, you have to hold it from the backside and push it in, and then it might not actually engage fully, so then you have to, like, really kind of push on the back and then push in the front. It's kind of a, like, annoying niggle, but it's not too bad. Gonna be asking $8,000 for it, because it's that clean. It has had $12,000 worth of work put into it within the past 3 years. That's everything from transmission seals having to be replaced to new carburetor, new ignition system, new champion aluminum rad in it. Take your pick. There's also other stuff like that hood emblem. He paid, I think it was like $800 just to get that matching hood emblem for the car. Right? Yeah, I mean, now, let me ask you, why do they quote so much to do a head gasket? Like, I know it's a decent amount of work, but at the same time, I know that you're decently capable. Unless if the head's warped, why don't you fix it yourself? Like I said, if it's a warped head, then I get it. But if it's not warped, changing out a head gasket can take just like a couple hours, to be honest. Especially on a Ford Probe with the... Well, actually, I guess that's a V6, so a little more than that, but not too bad, though, to do. Although it might take more than a couple hours, but regardless, like, you could do it within an afternoon, probably. Ah, okay, fair enough. Because, yeah, even though like resurface heads, you're only looking at like $800 to $1,000 to do that. So, and then I mean, like for a rad, that wouldn't be. It shouldn't be that expensive for a rad for that thing. Like $300 maybe for a nice one. Unless you want to go like original copper, and that could actually get more expensive. Oddly enough, the aluminum ones are way cheaper. But yeah. I can understand that. Well, I mean, here's a question though. Like, it right now, like, is it in a driveway or is it parked on the street? Rock Auto. I mean, it's not gonna resurface a head, but it'll. You can probably find a rad for it there. And a head gasket, obviously, but. I mean, that's fair. Well, that's the one thing. I'd see if you can get, back into the patch, because they're always hiring somewhere, right? Like, you just have to kind of knock on a few doors and see, It's in a driveway parked in front of the RX-7? Well, that's not so bad then. I mean, I would just, swap those around if the, if the probe is the one that's going to be under the knife more than the RX-7, that's what I would do, right? Because if it's in your driveway, if it's tore apart, it's tore apart, who cares? Right? It's not like it's parked on the street where you have it tore apart, then that's a little different. Right? And, and it sucks to obviously work on something outside, but, hi, I've worked on my car outside a ton. You just have to do what you gotta do sometimes. Well, what is the RX-7 doing? Because I can't remember what you told me, or if you told me what was wrong with the RX-7. And honestly, like, if you need a hand with anything, I'm a bit of a trek away, but if you pay for my trip up there, like, because I have a place I can stay in Edmonton, so it's not really a problem to trek back and forth if I need to Fort Saskatchewan, but that's something that I can help out with if need be, like, whatever. Just like I said, just pay for my fuel while I'm up there. It's all good, right? I'm not expensive. Oh, okay. And so we're pushing this coolant and puking it. That's interesting. Why it's overpressuring though? Like, I'm being a Rotary. They're kind of weird too, with everything. But if it just happens to be from, that aftermarket bleeder, could be like just like a failed part, that's not letting it breathe correctly. So that could make sense. No, I think you're on a decent path, and that would, yeah, that's only a few minute fix, to be honest, if that's all it's gonna be, right? Because, yeah, alternatively, like, I'm trying to think of... I'm just trying to think of a Rotary in my head and how they work when it comes to their coolant system. It's going to be similar, but obviously they're weird because, well, hey, a Rotary doesn't exactly have, like, proper heads or anything, right? So, there isn't coolant passages like that. There are coolant passages in the engine, but... Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, get a, water pump from, like, Rock Auto. Because that costs, what, maybe 60, 70 bucks for that? Possibly 100 max, and then... Yeah, then obviously, thermostat, you can probably get the thermostat local, I'm assuming. But then again, I don't know if the ARC-7 thermostat is, like, the same as other thermostats or not, and if they're just stock locally or not. Or even if you can get that water pump locally, but I think it might cost you more if you got it local, so catch-22 there, right? Ah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, you're probably onto something there, to be honest. Because even if you have, like, a few different issues to where, like, it's not breathing properly, with the coolant, and... And then rotors have compression, I check manually. How much compression does the engine have? Like, did you check with a gauge with it, I'm assuming? Or I shouldn't say cylinders, but rotors, I suppose. The problem with running it without a thermostat, you can actually overheat the engine by doing that. Because you're not metering the coolant correctly, and as a result, too much of it flows into the engine and gets too hot, and if the rad isn't keeping up with it, you can actually overheat it. It's not a good idea to run without a thermostat unless you're doing it in like a quick jaunt of like a quarter mile. Ooh, what's this? This is a test. Fair enough. Okay, why is it I get a notification on my phone to say, hey, there is an SN95 for $2,000. It's a convertible. You know, and it's like, I want to see this car, but they're not showing it to me. Lame. It was in the 80s, which is correct. And that was an 86, you said. 85 or 86, right? Oh, shit. Yeah, I just want to look it up because I don't know myself, so... Compression should a 1986... I was about to type before Mustang, but no. Mazda RX-7 NA B. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, no, you are correct. Actually, well, hang on. So that's 13B turbo S. Okay, so according to this forum post from 2002, that compression is low. A non-turbo RX-7 should be in the neighborhood of 125 to 150. Also, hi, person from Uzbekistan. How's it going? Hey, Mask Man. How goes it? Ugh. Because, like, your naturally aspirated engine makes 9.5 to 1. That's a good question. It doesn't say in here. Didn't know there was a difference between them. Okay. And what did your dad think about that Cummins idea? Yeah, because this is talking about that anything below 90 is like a bad engine. You know, that the rotors are bad. Here we go. let's look at. I'm just looking at this website. Like, I just want to confirm all this stuff before I panic you too much on this. Okay. So this one, I don't think it's talking about a rotary compression thing. Although, and also, did you do the compression test when it was hot or cold? Like, oh God. My name is Katarina, and like, fuck, it's on my shirt for Christ's sake. Can I not get away from this shit today? Seriously? Like, ugh. He's not the most reliable? Fair enough, because I mean, here's the thing. 80 PSI in a cold engine, I could see that. Yep, and I'm just doing that. Just get rid of that idiot. You did a manual test and it was cold. Okay. There's your issue. You need those cylinders to be hot. It's not like a regular engine that way where you can do a compression test cold. With a rotary, it needs to be hot. Because otherwise, that's not gonna, like, because the seals within a rotary, they need to be warm for them to fully seal up. That's why, as an example, your when you do your cold starts and stuff like that, that you get the premix going out like that of the exhaust and seeing that blue, and that's because the seals haven't fully gotten back up yet because the engine's not warm, right? That wouldn't be a single rotor. No, it's a 13B, so that's a dual rotor. For that engine. Pretty sure they're dual rotor, or were they tri-rotor? I think they're dual rotor. I can't remember for sure, but well, here's the thing: you can listen to the puffs of a engine, and it can still have compression, but it doesn't mean it's enough compression. Like that's the difference, right? Exactly. That's the pain in the ass part about a rotor. Like, you need to get the thing running and then check it after that. Because honestly, knowing your compression makes you know whether or not the engine is actually good or not. Right? Well, hey, hopefully you can, hopefully you can find that, the comments like I mentioned did. Because that'd be good for you. Yeah, because... Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'm just reading on this website that's all about rotaries, right? And it's they're talking about how to do a compression test properly. It actually says that a cold compression test, like, it'll produce higher numbers, to be honest, on these rather than the lower numbers. So that's a little disconcerting. Oh yeah, rotaries are not for the faint of heart. You know. and and then there's me. I pull shit that's been sitting in a field for 30 years, get it running and driving, have zero issues with it, move it on to the next person. All the time. Other than the Poltermerc was the pain in the ass car, the one that always left me stranded, but that's the only exception to that rule. That one was a pain. Now, try to find your local dealer. Wait, are you trying to find a new 5.7 Cummins? Or 5.9, I should say, not 5.7? Because you can just get a used... Listen, you can buy an entire truck. A used, like I said, 87 to 93 Cummins... Actually, I think it was 88 to 93. Cummins Ram, and take the Cummins out of that. It's better if it's a 91 to 93, but those trucks, because usually, like, you know, if it's got 300,000 kilometers on it, it's fine. It's a Cummins. They will go forever. You know, like, that's not a problem. The 12-valve Cummins is one of the most reliable engines ever created. You know, it's up there with the Ford 306, with the Mercedes OM 465, I think it's called, diesel. It's up there with slant sixes and with even my little Ford 206, you know, for ultimate reliability. Yeah, well, also, Ryan, you're looking at the wrong cars, too. Like, you picked a RX-7, which is, like, notoriously bad for giving major issues. And then you picked a Ford Probe, which are known to blown head gaskets, too. So there's that, right? Like, with me, I picked Fox bodies, which they do have their issues, but it's never anything with the drivetrain. It's always something with, like, the body, how it rusts and stuff, right? Yeah, I mean, like, and there's plenty of vehicles that, you know, are known to be, like, decently reliable and can be fantastic. Those are the ones I go for more. I typically don't go for the problem children cars. Not usually. But, I mean, I said that as I bought a problem child Lincoln with a diesel. I just really wish that they actually put that engine together properly, rather than as shoddily as they put it back together. Because once I saw all the issues with that, with the valves not being installed back into the head, but the head being reinstalled with the timing belt in place, I'm like, that's not... That makes me wonder how the internals of it is. Even though the brand new head, though. That's fair. Well, see, here's the thing, actually. That T-Bird better. Like, we had to do a little bit of wiring to it, and a carb adjustment, really. Other than that, haven't done anything else to it, and just drive it. Because that was its main issue, was that it sat for way too long, and they never drove it, right? And it sucks. Because of that, like I said, like that T-Bird, it has just under 55,000 original kilometers on it. And as a result, it is sat for the bulk of its life. So when Mike acquired it, he was having nothing but issues with it. I'm going, but like, dude, you barely drive it. Like, you need to take it on a road trip. You know? Hey, I get that a lot with my cars, too. And do I like Forza Horizon? I've never played it. Actually, that's a lie. I did play Forza Horizon like forever ago. Like, I think it was the first one when it first came out. Because my brother had an Xbox 360. But, beyond that, no, that was like for an afternoon that I played that. Getting past insurance inspection is always annoying. You say that. But that's why I know people that'll just, hey, look! Check, 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 check. Okay, it's safe. I always make sure it's safe before I hand it off to them, but, you know, they do actually check and they'll tell me, hey, if there's anything I missed on it, but they'll pass it anyways and just say, hey, you need to get that done. It's like, sure, that's not a problem. I have Breaking Benjamin in my hair? Really? Huh. Didn't know I had any Breaking Benjamin in my list. You need to know these people? Yeah, I mean, you can find them. Here's the thing. As long as it's not an out-of-province or a salvage, if it's just a regular insurance inspection, you know, like my neighbor, he does my inspections for me. Like, he actually does, like I said, check out the vehicle, but on the 82, though, Mustang, because it still needs to get the inspection done for insurance. And once my dad is back, I'm gonna hand him the keys, be like, hey, can you do an inspection on this vehicle? I'll pay you $50. You know, and he's more than fine with doing that. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's... Honestly, when I've actually done inspections fully legit, I always make sure everything is within spec. Just like visual inspection and stuff like that. Because if something needs a set of wipers, change them. Although, if something's... Like, if you're getting an inspection done, and if they fail you because of the wipers, that should be absolutely ridiculous, because you'll just go to Canadian Tire, go get wipers right after that. They should just pass it and say, hey, if you're caught using these wipers within the next 14 days, you know, this car will fail, and you'll have to pay a hefty fine for it. That's how they should have it, you know? How do I get my own merch? I don't have my own merch, to be honest. This is just one of my work shirts with the dyno. But having said that, though, like, there's, like, I know somebody that will actually make me stuff. It's just I need to send her money, basically, for her to make me stuff, which is fine. I do plan on actually getting, you know, a merch line done. It's just not going to be done as professionally as most, because, like, she's going to be the one making me the shirts, and she does a good job. And then it'll get handed, and basically I'll just sell it directly to whoever it is. They'll just have to message me on, like, Instagram or something like that with their info, and or on Facebook, and I'll sell it to them. That's fair. See, here's the thing. I know enough to where I know what will pass and what will fail on an inspection. So, but, and also, when you have access to a lift, it's a lovely thing where you can just look at everything on the lift. Makes it so much easier. Because without that, without having access to that lift, there'd probably still be a C4 automatic in my station. Just about guaranteed. Hey, I'm glad you're doing good there, Mask. I was gonna ask you actually how you're doing, so, but it's good that Ryan got to that too. So, God, I'm so tired. Like, ugh. Sleep would be good, but I'm not gonna sleep yet. The sleep will be a lovely thing when I get there. Fair enough. I don't blame you. Like, that's one of these things. Because even like this T-Bird, like technically, I've put a little bit of my own money into it. Because it's not my car. Fun fact: it is a you know, it's not my car. Like it's a friend of mine's car that I'll be selling on his behalf. But here's the thing: the Cummins could be, it could either be an automatic or a stick shift. And the stick shift at the time would have been the NV 4500, I think. You know? I can't remember what the automatics were, though. You know, it's funny because if you guys knew how heavy of music I listen to, people would be surprised because people think that I'm like this happy-go-lucky girl that listens to like softer music, and that's not the case. Like right now, I have Killswitch Engage screaming in my ears. It's fantastic. And even then, this is still one of the more tame songs I listen to when it comes to heaviness. Like, as this is My Last Serenade, Killswitch Engage. Oh, nice! That'll be good. Hey, Robert, I appreciate that. You know? It's always fun just to hang out and vibe. No Napalm Death? I don't listen to anything quite that heavy. Like, the heaviest stuff I listen to is probably Cancer Bats. And even then, Cancer Bats, I don't listen to, like, all their songs. Like, obviously their best song's Hail Destroyer. But... and fun fact, I've heard Cancer Bats live. I wasn't going to see Cancer Bats. I was going to see Billy Talent. It just... Cancer Bats happened to open for them. That was a wild concert, because that concert, and again, bands that you wouldn't think would line up with each other. So you had, come on, brain. Remember all the bands that were there. It was Cancer Bats with, oh, who was it? Alexisonfire opened well. And who was the other one? That other band, I can never remember who they are, but again, didn't really match. And then with Billy Talent, it was weird. I mean, well, you say not that far away, but you're in Ontario. I'm in Alberta. It's a long trek, but it's possible. And grindcore isn't really my jam as much, but like, and it's interesting. Even like these weird subgenres of metal is bizarre to me. I don't understand that. Was Sick Puppies there? No. No. Let's see. Like, that was, hang on. There we go, that's who it was. It was Billy Talent with Alexisonfire, Against Me, and Cancer Bats. Like, it's a... They kind of line up to a certain degree, but to be honest, that concert would have been a little better to a certain degree if Cancer Bats was the headliner rather than Billy Talent. Because Billy Talent is a lot softer than Cancer Bats. Like, they're still heavy, But yeah. Now, wait. You unintentionally got to see them? How is it unintentional? Oh, it was a fantastic concert. That was the second Billy Talent concert I went to. Yeah, and then there was no, it wasn't that tour. I'm just trying to think of Billy Talent's like first album. With that tour. Oh no, I saw it with Billy Talent 2, Billy Talent 3. That's what it was. Yeah. No, I mean, being able to see Nine Inch Nails would be freaking incredible. I'd love to see them. Right? Billy Talent opened for Pink in Budapest? Huh. Yeah, that would be a good concert, actually. But hey, you know what? I can, oh, God, I'm just really tired because my brain isn't working right now. I remember there was a last-minute concert that I went to. Who the hell was that? It wasn't The Cure. What the fuck was that? I went with my dad. And it was a bizarre concert because it was a very last-minute concert for them. Like, they booked this concert within like a week of them actually being there. So, they only had half the stadium open for this. And they only had two bands. One was some random high school band that they were terrible, honestly. Like, they sounded so awful. But, you know, they were able to open for a pretty famous band, so that was kind of cool. But why can't I remember the name of the band? Oh, it's going to drive me nuts who it was. They're not as relevant as they used to be. Like, this is, why does my brain keep going back to The Cure? It wasn't The Cure. But it's one of those, like, type of bands, right? First show was Six Puppies, Breaking Benjamin, Shinedown, opening for Nickelback. Then fast forward several years, and Shinedown was opening for Kiss. Ah, fair enough. Queen and Quiet Riot? That'd be awesome. Yeah, like, here's the thing. I mean, the last concert I saw was Avril Lavigne, and who opened for her was Fifi Dobson and Girlfriends. Such a good concert. Although it's supposed to be Sum 41 and Simple Plan were both supposed to open, but instead they didn't. That was alright though. It was a fun concert. Hey, there you go. But hey, you know, I've seen when they reunited for their reunion tour. I saw Guns N' Roses at Commonwealth in Edmonton. That was a good freaking concert. Really good concert. I was there with my dad and my sister. Yeah, Fifi Dobson is still touring. She is. Cowboy baby. Sunshine shining, cowboy baby. I can smell pig from a mile away. See, here's the thing. Like, Nickelback is pretty good. like, here's the thing. I like Nickelback. I hate Chad Kroeger. Because Chad Kroger's a dickhead, and what he did to Avril Lavigne, I'll never forgive for that. I'll still listen to his music, but ugh. Oh, it's all right. I mean, here's the thing. I've seen Billy Talent in concert twice. I know how they are. They're fantastic, but like that would have been a fun concert. But like watching concerts online versus being there, it's not the same. Anytime somebody shares like their videos of a concert, I don't watch it usually because it doesn't do anything for me, right? Now, when you say, was that supposed to be their older music, like Nickelback's, or were you saying like you like older music? And what do you consider older music, right? Fingers crossed there, Ryan, because I'd like to see, you be able to get that RX-7 up and going and stuff, and then getting some money and stuff too, right? Trust me, like, I absolutely get it, because, like, you know, I went up to, your neck of the woods, to grab a steering rack for a buddy of mine, and I'm making a little bit of money off of it, not a ton. Mostly, like, I'm making, like, 40, $50 off of, gas on that. But, and the reason why I'm not making more than that is because I took the T-Bird, and it's not that fuel efficient. But, also, because he's a good friend of mine, and he helped me out a lot with Buzz getting her out of the field, so. Ooh, Collective Soul with Our Lady Peace? That'd be good too. Well, here's the thing. Your $9,000 debt can go away pretty quick if you wanted it to. So there's that, right? It's not so bad. Such a shining cowboy. Love Kid Rock. Ah, okay. Fair enough. I mean, it's interesting because How You Remind Me, I love that song, but interestingly, there's a version of that song that I like a hell of a lot more than Nickelback's, and that's Avril Lavigne's version of How You Remind Me is so good. She puts a lot more emotion into it, and she slows down the song a bit, and I love it. For sure. Oh, nice, that'd be good. Oh, Chris, that's not $9,000 in credit card debt. That is $9,000 that he owes to the previous owner of his RX-7 because he kind of did a loan situation for it. Hello from East Texas? Hi from Sundry, Alberta. How goes it there, the Cargo Hustler? That's fair. I mean, that's the one thing, and I want to try and convince my dad that if me and him can go to the Blues and Flames game coming up on December 7th, I think it is. I think it's the 7th. Because I really love to see, like, I love watching Flames games in person. I've only seen 2 of them so far in person, but hey, I want to see as many as I can. Oh, there you go. That's not too bad. Yeah, my credit card kind of got, I didn't pay it off, and they cut me off. So my credit's way down the toilet right now. That was my mistake. Lessons were learned, but that's okay. Oh, okay. I thought you were considering the RX-7 dead into that. Fair enough. Plus, I mean, there's also still other concerts I'd love to go see. Like, Billy Talent is usually in Alberta, like, once a year for, like, Stampede. I'd love to go see him at Stampede again, but we'll see. Oh, Hannah? Yeah. Hannah's not terribly far from here, but Hannah is just a hole-in-the-wall town in the middle of nowhere. And near-ish Edmonton, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, there you go. Hey, I was rocking out to Disturb there, Mr. Jose Gracino. Like, if you have a problem with that, you can, just... go that way. Oh, I'm absolutely fine. I'm just vibing, having a good time, listening to some tunes here, because if I was listening to this on a stereo, YouTube would take this down, so... Say your name right now. I already said your name. You're not into evil music? If you knew anything about Disturbed, you'd realize it's not evil at all. Disturbed's music, every single one of Disturbed's songs is all about, like, they all have a proper story to them, and it's usually about, hey, you know what, if you have anger issues, losing a loved one, if you have, you know, like, depression, anxiety, any of this stuff, it's great. What? I said Jose Gracino, which I thought that's how you said that. I don't know, I'm just guessing on the last name. Now, and then, my playlist is all over the place, because, like, I'll listen to, like, some really heavy metal that's, like, screaming at me, to Avril Lavigne, to Eminem, to Disturbed, like, you name it. It's on my list. And case in point, I'm listening to Houdini by Eminem. Well, I love how Jose tried to, like, gaslight me and stuff like that, and now he's trying to compliment me. It's like, really? You know? We're just gonna keep going with this? Because that would be a lovely relationship with gaslighting and shit like that. Not. Hey, how's it going, Cobalt SS? How's it going, dude? I'm assuming you own a Cobalt SS? And if so, do you have the Turbo at Cobalt SS, or do you have the Supercharged version? Oh yeah, she is the pop-punk queen. Absolutely. And the Supercharged one. Cool. That's fun. You do realize that people can name themselves something on social media and own that car, but then have to get rid of it, and they don't have it anymore. That's why I asked that. So stop being a freaking ignorant fuck in my chat, dude. Ooh, 330 wheel, nice. So, so all that thing does, I mean, once it actually hooks, it'll actually fuck off. But as it currently sits, that thing will just go, and then finally hook. Oh, it's probably E85, I'm assuming. I bet it is fun. See, I mean, I love Superchargers a lot more than turbos, you know? But I am going to be turboing my car, though, because it'll be easier to do than a Supercharger. Oh, that would be a fun toy, absolutely. Like, it's kind of funny because when I had my 78 Civic, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with it. And because if the engine was bad in it, we were trying to figure out, like, okay, what swap were we going to do with it? And me and my dad kind of had the best idea, and which was to find an old, like, CBR 1000 from like the 80s. It might be like a trash bike, but who cares? For $1,000, you can pluck the motor out of it, drop that into the Civic, and have like a 14,000 RPM redline, and just haul ass with it. It would have gained a little bit of horsepower actually from that, because that original engine only had 48 horsepower. So, hey, I will tease your Ford Probe, 100%. Well, see, here's the thing. Turbos aren't necessarily the best overall. Like, here's the thing. So, turbos, when it comes to peak power, they're the best. And for fuel economy, they're the best. However, the time it takes to spool turbos, although modern turbos spool a lot faster than what older turbos did, but regardless, a supercharger is a little nicer because it gives you a more linear sort of curve with that, when comparatively to when a turbo is lagging, it's not a linear curve, because you'll, like on a dyno scale, you'll go with a turbo, it'll go kind of like this, and then like that, where a supercharger is just going to go a lot more linear, right? It's not kind of low and then high. And that's because the boost, how it gets pushed out of a supercharger, is very linear, because it has to do with how much the RPM is of your engine. Like, with how with how much the crankshaft is spins the pulley on the supercharger, and it determines how much boost you're making, depending on pulley size and stuff like that, right? Oh, for sure. Yeah, now, and here's the question. So, with your being 330 wheel, so you have pushed that thing to an extra... That's about an extra 70 wheel horsepower in that thing. So how much boost you pushed out of that? Even though I know you're on E85, which is going to do quite a bit, too, with the boost, but just curious. Oh, you can use nitrous to spool a turbo for sure. Ooh, 21 pounds of boost. You're not on the original Eaton M62, are you? I'm assuming it's an aftermarket supercharger at that point. The Probe had a 2.5 liter Mitsubishi engine. The Ford Probe is the same thing as the Mazda MX-6. They're identical cars. But the MX-6 got some options that the Probe didn't. As an example, four-wheel steering. The Probe never got that. Some active aero, which the Probe never got either. So, stock ported small pulley, really? That is surprising, actually. Okay, Saber, what are you doing? Come here. Just come here and cuddle, because you have food. You just don't want to eat it, but you're being a picky little shit. Just eat your food, sir. Eat your food, fat cat. Can you do that for me, please? I mean, you can look at the window, too. See? Window. Kitty cat. What the fuck are you exactly, Clarence? I'm a human. I don't know what you are. Judging by your name, you're like one of those big blue people from the world of Pandora. No, the Eclipse was... So actually... here's the thing. The Eclipse was with like Dodge, right? Not with Ford. Um, so the different versions of the Eclipse, you had the Plymouth Laser, you had the Eagle Talon as well, and then of course the Eclipse. Hey, my buddy built out a 3000 GT, and if you want to give him PTSD, just ask him about the vacuum lines under the hood of a 3000 GT. No joke, there's over 100 vacuum lines on a 3000 GT. Brutal. Uh, well, the Dodge Stealth is a 3000 GT. An uglier 3000 GT, but a 3000 GT. But it didn't have any of that new fandangled four-wheel steering or active aero. It just got all-wheel drive with that twin turbo. That's it. Oh, there's always Eagle Talon TSIs for sale, to be honest. And they all have a 4G63 that somebody boosted too much and blue head gaskets. They all are like that. They weren't great cars. They were fun, but they weren't great. You're doing a twin 6-liter? Cool. Get twin turbo and a 6-liter? That'll go really fast. What kind of power are you trying to push out of that? What's fucked up and everything's alright. Check my vital signs and know I'm still alive and I walk alone. But yeah, like, I mean, I love, you know, those DSM cars, like the Eagle Talon and the Plymouth Laser with the Eclipse, especially the first gen. The first gen is the coolest. And most people forget that, yeah, the Eclipse, first generation. They always think of, like, Brian's Eclipse from the Fast and Furious is the first gen, but that's not the case. That's the second gen. Oh, you can make the best Mustang jokes because, you know, you know what? You need to make like a banner or something like that for that Ford Probe and basically say, hey, Mustang, I'm your daddy. Or, like, say, like, Aero Fox Body, I am your daddy, because that was supposed to replace the Fox Body. Oh, nice. I mean, I do see Ford Probes every once in a blue moon. Like, I've seen a couple in the junkyard, to be honest. I don't know the last time I saw one on the road, though. So there's that. But they're fun. Am I okay? I am absolutely fantabulous. Thank you for asking. Sometimes I wish a Baudelaire will find me. Today I walk alone. See, now, and I've never experienced the Ford Pro properly, but, you know, I've seen them around. They're neato. I already said I am okay. Instead, you asked me the question twice for some reason. Like, are you okay? Do you need assistance, sir? Or ma'am? Well, everybody else can hear me. If you can't hear me, then that's a problem on your end. Okay, question for everybody in the chat. Can everybody hear me just fine? Or is this guy just trying to pull my chain? Okay, so it's just this guy blowing smoke up my ass. Good to know. It's one of these things. Like, when it comes to the Ford Probe, like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people that have no idea what it is. But to be fair, like, that T-Bird, like, it gets a ton of attention. Love it. Um, that T-Bird, like, when I drive it around, there are some people that have no idea what it is. Which is wild to me, because, like, it says Thunderbird, and the whole thing screams T-Bird. But that's one of these things where you'd be surprised. And, like, my Mustangs, people actually ask me if my Mustangs are Chrysler LeBarons. I'm like, come on, really? Oh, here's the thing. If that's what you're used to, and calling that probe slow, like, yeah, if it's just a plain Jane probe that's a non-turbo, it's not a super quick car. It can be fun, but yeah, I mean, they made less than 200 horsepower out of those things. But, yeah. And am I a gamer? I do game a little bit, yeah. I just don't game near as much as I used to be honest. I play mostly single-player games, but, you know, and I do play some mobile games. Don't shame me for it. Sorry. But I used to be, like, heavy into gaming. Because, fun fact, I have one platinum trophy on the PS3. That platinum trophy is for Dragon Age Origins. That was a pain in the ass to get that trophy. And then I almost got the platinum trophy on the original Modern Warfare 2. Almost. Inside a teenage dream tonight. Here's the thing. Any questions about my gender, you're just gonna get ignored, bud. Just put it out there. Because I'm sick and tired of people asking me that. So, if you're gonna just keep asking, you can fuck off from my chat. Don't ever look back, don't ever look back. Oh yeah, that's right, yours is the second gen, I forgot about that. Don't ever look back, don't ever look back. Teenage dream tonight. Exactly. I was the girl that just wants to vibe and chat with y'all, and instead I get these weird-ass questions about my gender because people, for some reason, are obsessed with it. And it's like, bro, even if I was a man, who fucking cares? Right? Genuinely. Hey! Team Mechanic, how goes it, dude? It's going good. Like, actually, the T-Bird, I took that up to, Fort Saskatchewan and back today. So, that was nice. Hey, sometimes I'll sing, and yes, I know, I am not a good singer. I already know this. That's fine. You know? And also, how goes your newest project there, which is that, unless you've bought something else since then, but you know the one I'm talking about, your AMC. Now, hang on. This is not from my list. What is going on? There we go. That's from my list. Hey, yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. I have known Joseph for about 4 years now. He bought the Monaco off me. If you go way back in my channel, there was a Monaco that I was selling on behalf of another friend, and he bought it off of me back then. He bought a Matador. It's a 73, isn't it? Oh, you got the starter in? Nice. I didn't realize it needed... Oh, yeah, that's right. I think you did say that the starter did die on it. Because, yeah, it's weird. Like, it is a, yeah, 73 Monaco... Or 73 Monaco. 73 Ambassador. Or not Ambassador. Fuck. My brain's not working here. Jesus. Can you tell I'm tired? Damn, that sucks. But, shit happens, right? Hey, Robert, please do not do politics in my chat, dude. It's a minefield, no matter if two people can agree on politics and yet argue. So, yeah, so it's an AMC Matador. There we go. And being a 73, it's one of the better looking Matadors. Because the Matador he had before that was an awful looking car. He loved it, but it was ugly as sin. God morning, beautiful? Sir, it is almost midnight. It ain't morning. Like I mentioned, please don't diss my 77. That thing didn't do anything wrong. Other than having a giant bowling ball size hole in the floor and the steering wheel clock like this and it pulling hard right. No, it was fine. Not gonna lie, I've driven some pretty sketchy cars, but yours, it takes the cake. Playing card size hole, thanks. It was a little bigger than that. Hey, appreciate you being a fan. Thanks. How's it going? And that rendition of How You Remind Me was Avril Lavigne. But yeah, I mean, that thing... I mean, it's a toss-up between that or the Poltermerc for being the worst cars I've driven. Because the Poltermerc wasn't too bad, but it had no brakes when we bought it. And I drove it home with, like, basically no brakes. That was fun. Oh, I do want to see it, to be honest. Like, I really do. Because, not gonna lie, I never got to actually see that car in person. I've only ever seen your videos on it, or, and then when iPull posted their thing saying that they're selling it, that's all I've seen about it, right? So... Well, I appreciate that. You know? But here's the thing, though, Ryan. If it is sketchy, it's okay. I've driven sketchy vehicles. Like I said, I drove that Matador that he had, and then the Poltermerc, which, bear in mind, the Poltermerc was the funniest thing to drive. Because, sure, it steered, and it went fine, although it actually ran like absolute bag of ass, but other than that, didn't have like any big rust holes in the floor or anything. But driving it, the guy said that it was roadworthy. I'm like, okay, so we trusted him, so we didn't bring a trailer down. But we soon found out that no, this thing wasn't roadworthy. So if you slammed on the brakes, it would slow it down, but it wouldn't stop. So instead, what I had to do was slam on the brake and hit the e-brake as well at the same time. The last 3 clicks of the handbrake would actually stop the car. I drove from here, like from Calgary all the way here doing that. It was so sketch. Oh, and also, like, I mean, I've also driven vehicles that are riding on 40-year-old tires that have four-wheel drum brakes. And which that thing was cool, but it was kind of sketchy to drive, to be honest, because of that. But that was a well, actually, Joseph would know that car. That is Roy Marco's '56 Pontiac. Jeez, I mean that's sketch, but yeah, I mean I was doing the same thing, but except we didn't pull over and go get a trailer. Instead, we just kept trucking. You know, we did the entire journey. It was fun. It was fun. You know, that was an adventure. Let me tell you. I mean, my car has rear drums. Does that count? Actually, all the vehicles that I own, plus that T-Bird outside, have rear drums. I mean, although at some point I do have to um, deliver a steering rack to Calgary, so when I do that, I'll let you know, like, the day before, and figure it out, because I'm not sure when I'm going to deliver that to Ron, but... Wait, when did it lose brakes? Because I thought that thing was actually okay. Your Daily's a 97 Continental? Hey, that thing would be nice and comfy. For sure. Being on the Panther body and everything. No, that thing would go pretty good. Actually, down the road. I know, I mean, somebody down there would go nuts for that car. That'll do it. Fun times, fun times. Well, there's your problem. It was a Jeep Patriot. And the EPA is not going to take my car. Because for one, I live in Canada and the EPA is not a thing here. So, we do have, like, a governing body, don't get me wrong with that, but we kind of mimic the states for the most part. Yeah, but also it's a Jeep Patriot. It's one of the worst Jeeps ever made. The only other Jeep that's worse than that is the Compass. You know? I mean, they're not too bad. Oh, that's right. I forgot the Continental was front-wheel drive then. Right. I was thinking of the town car. I forgot about that. Hey, don't diss Fiat. I'll diss Fiat anytime I want. Anytime I want. EPA is and will take my car. Don't be foolish. I live in Canada. We are not part of the States. Oof. You don't know the reach? Again, the EPA doesn't make laws for Canada. That is a United States thing. Now, hang on. You said paid minus $1,000 for it? How does that work? How is it minus $1,000? Like, did somebody pay you $1,000 to take their piece of crap off them? Because, you know, hey, I'm one of the few people that can tease Joseph about this shit because I've known him for a long time. And since I've driven one of his cars, you know, Oh, that's not even cold. Like 20 degrees Fahrenheit ain't even cold yet, bud. Nowhere near. That's like the temperature it is outside right now. It's great. Okay, that works. Fair enough. I was trying to figure out how you managed to get minus 1,000. Got you. Nice. Hey, it's all good. My brain isn't braining either, so we're good, man. I mean, you could build up a Patriot, sure, but as soon as you do anything to it, it's just gonna break. Because that's how it works. Hey, just remember, the last time that the States tried to do anything with Canada, as in trying to take control of it, just remember what happened. Your White House got burnt down twice during that time. I'm listening to Rob Zombie Feel So Numb. Yeah, well, I mean, the probe has a weird history, to be honest, because of, again, it made people be very get very pissed off at Ford, to be honest, that car, because that was supposed to replace the Mustang. So yeah, I love how Robert is calling me stupid. You guys probably can't see that message because for some reason my moderation stuff isn't working right now, but. Ooh, an 89 Probe GT Turbo. See, that's the cool one. You know, that's with the pop-up lights and everything, and just prettiness. And, well, I mean, they both have pop-up lights, technically, but the more angular one, you know. But yeah, that would be cool, though. I am perfectly safe. Also, I know people with lots and lots of guns. So, if the U.S. tries to do anything, have fun. Trust me. Because here's the thing. If anything ever happens, all I'm doing is going to my uncle's place in Benalto, where he basically has an armory. And it'll be great. You know, this all makes sense when he mentioned his political affiliation and stuff like that, too, of how he's acting. It makes a lot of sense. Oh, you'd like my uncle. Like, and also, because my Uncle Garth doesn't have a filter. He's fantastic. You know, like, and all of his guns are legal. But, you know, like, he's got, you know, a bunch of rifles and shotguns and stuff. It's great. Like, going into his house and going into his gun room, it's Candyland in there. I like that one. That was good. That was good. And wait, what do you mean timing chain rubbing? Do you mean like it's so loose that you can hear it hitting the timing chain cover? Like, is that what you mean? The only people that hate RX-7s are the people that own RX-7s. I think that's how that works. Because, like, everybody loves RX-7s until they own one. Your chain is rubbing on your hose 6.52. Well, it's because it's a Triton. That's your problem. I mean, the only like we don't have Summit stores and we don't have like Jeg stores here. Like you can get that delivered here, but we have like JB Power Center and we've got Mopac stuff like that. Those are our two big ones. Yeah, 5.4 Triton, the best motor ever made. Keep telling yourself that. The Ford 300 inline 6 would like to have a talk. That's funny. Oh, it definitely did. You know, everything from cam phasers to spark plugs going yeet out of the cylinders and EGR issues and. Oh, I will take that challenge. You say I couldn't even start an RX-7 in a Canadian winter? I will take that challenge because I'm the queen of cold starts. Press my headlight? What? What you talking about, Willis? I mean, the premix oil that you use for RX-7s, I don't know if I would throw Marvel Mystery Oil in an RX-7. It might actually do okay, but... Oh yeah, like I said, you know, it's all of it, right? It's fantabulous. With those friggin' Tritons, I love that shit. That's physically impossible, Kevin. Like, could you make it lighter? Sure, you could make it an aluminum block, aluminum head, you know, and it would take the weight from that being about 490 pounds down to about the weight of my engine, which is like 360 pounds. And that's perfect. That's what I've heard that most people use on their RX-7s, and they go great. Like, because rotaries are a pain in the ass to deal with. That's one of those things, like I said, I'd love to play with one, but they're too expensive, man. You know? And me being a broke car girl, it's like, yeah, no. Recognize. Ah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that Eldorado. Here's the thing. I remember when it still had the vinyl top on it, and like you can see the little rust bubbles, but as fine, it was covered up. There's no big deal. Then this guy decides, hey, let's rip off all that vinyl and then expose it, and it's like now it's all exposed now. Like that's on you, dude. It's a good thing you actually did that, but here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing. I want to experience a Rotary for, like a hour's time, and then I want to give it back because yes. Oh, okay, my bad. My bad. I think I had duct tape holding it on though. Welcome to good old speedboats. They're fun. Should vinyl tops make a comeback? No. Vinyl tops do not match the look of newer vehicles. It just doesn't. Like, vinyl tops work well with a roof that is square. Nothing really has square roofs besides the odd truck. So that's the problem. Yeah, I did have duct tape flew off too. Well, you obviously weren't using the proper 200-mile-an-hour tape, clearly. It was $1 tape? See, there's your problem. You need proper, 3M tape. That shit will hold forever. A 131-mile-an-hour on a speedboat. Holy shit. That is freaking moving in a boat. Oh my god. That'd be great. I mean, you could. As long as it meets the threshold to actually go on the lakes. Because I do know that most, depending on where you are, I know that for any of them that are actually governed properly for ice racing, your car has to be under 4,000 pounds. Which I don't know if that Continental would be or not. It'd be close. Very close. Well, see, and something that I've thought of, and I've seen some people actually do this, it would look decent from a distance, but up close it wouldn't look quite right, is, you know what you could do with that thing? You obviously need to fix the rust on the roof of that Eldorado, and then once you do, you can, bedliner it blue, as close to the blue as you can to that original vinyl, and then do it that way. That way it's not going to rust again if it's bedliner. Nice. Well, hey, I mean, boats can be fun, but the problem with a boat, and the reason why they break all the time, is, well, what do you do with a boat? You just, hey, look, as soon as you start it, full throttle, let's go! And you just beat the ever-living shit out of a boat, and that's why they break so often. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I've driven that thing once, but it was just around the block because they didn't have registration on it. But, at the time. I drove it twice, that's right. Because you let me do, a little bit of a pull in that thing. Forgot about that one, too. What's going on, people? Well, welcome to the chat there, Zax. My name is Katarina. I'm a huge car enthusiast. I have a couple of Fox body projects that I have myself. My whole channel is all about automotive things, mostly revolving around Fox bodies, but there is other content, as an example. There's a 78 T-Bird in my driveway right now that I've done a couple videos on. I've done videos on, take your pick. I've done videos on it, pretty much. But we just kind of hang out in here, and this is think about you being in a garage with your buddies, and you're chatting about cars and stuff like that in the garage. That's what this is. Now, it doesn't necessarily stick directly to cars, but that's like 95% of the topics. So, yeah. Absolutely there, Joseph. 100%. Oh, and how is the T-Bird and Pick and Pull? Which I still can't believe you sold that thing to Pick and Pull, man. I know you needed to get rid of it, and I get it, but Pick and Pull? Nice. Oh yeah, no, and my two Fox bodies have weird engines. Because my 81 Mustang, which is a notchback, my main sort of project, has a 200 cubic inch inline 6 with a T5 manual swap, 8.8 rear end and 355s. I got subframe connectors underneath, and I've done a bunch of little upgrades to it, which actually, Joseph has driven my car, although he didn't drive it very far or anything, and he didn't hammer on it. Like, I told him, like, hey, you can hammer on it all you want. Like, just, you can do it, and he didn't want to. I was surprised, because, like, I built that car to bang shift it, so. I mean, you could do that if you wanted to on your Civic. You'd probably have to use it as, like, a chain drive, but it could work. Well, hey, I mean... Hey, I can just about match that story. Hang on. That Joseph's talking about here. So, that big old boat in the driveway there has about $12,000 worth of receipts, plus the original purchase price, which was, I think he paid $5,000 for it. It's now worth somewhere in the neighborhood of about $7,000. Ah, fair enough. Wait. Is your buddy the same as mine who bought that Grand Marquis that you bought off of me, but never touched it? Same guy? See, here's the thing. That thing out there... Oh, it's not Dean. Okay, fair enough. Because that's the thing. Which now, here's a question. Has he picked up that frickin' Marquis yet? Or is it still sitting in your yard? Oh my god! He bought that thing, what, 2 years ago? Jesus! That's insane! I mean, hey, it's a decent parts car at the very least for somebody. Because, I mean, is that thing worth saving? Not really. It's a pretty crusty car. But, and I was gonna say, you never got that motor to really do anything. Oh, yeah, no, that's right. You did get it to turn over. But, did it ever run, though? I can't remember if it did. I mean, I could text Paul and ask him to keep his eye out for an RX-7. I could. Because here's the thing. Anything I text him, he will definitely listen to. Because, I mean, I have the same deal that Teen Mechanic does and that Shortcut Garage has there, too. So. Ooh. A 2 and a 373 rear gears. So how much power does that thing have then? Hey, welcome to my world, man. The only difference is I don't have the I don't get nightmares from that. That's just my life. Because I go out to Greg's and I revive cars that have been sitting there for 20 years. They're all covered in bugs and stuff like that. Oh, okay. So actually, that thing would move pretty good then. With the 373s and having 265 horsepower? No, I dig it, man. That thing's cool. And being like the Panther body and everything, nice and comfy cars, you know? Hey, retro games, obscure technology. Depending on the TVs, maybe. And cars no one wants to own? Hi, you're talking to me. Like, are you sure you're not just describing my life? Because, fun fact, I do have a really cool TV in my shed. It's been sitting around for years. It is a 10-inch portable TV from the 70s. It's an RCA with a rotary dial with 32 channels on it. The best part about that TV, though, is me and my dad played split-screen Guitar Hero together on that TV. It was freaking fantastic. You're gonna sell the Matador? It's sad. I understand why, though, but I'd love to have to see it before it's, like, gone. For sure. Ooh! An old Zenith 13-inch? That's cool. Oh, I know the see-through one you're talking about, I think. Yeah, that's sweet. There we go. Yeah, I mean, you know what you need as a beater daily driver? You need to go find yourself a little Fox body with like a 2.3 or one of these inline six ones I keep finding. Because that would be the perfect daily driver for you. Honestly. Because gets good fuel economy. It's fun to drive because it's a light rear-wheel drive car. And yeah, it's kind of unique in a way too. So, like, that should tick your boxes. I know it doesn't because you're into big ass whales with 500 cubic inch caddies in them. But you know. Oh, that's cool. No, I mean, I've been meaning to get out to his property to video some stuff out there. I just haven't gotten the opportunity to do it. Anytime he's wanted me out there, at the time I was working, so I just couldn't get out there because I worked every day of the week. And then, um, and then now it's obviously winter and stuff, so. But hey, I mean, he's got a mint Mustang 2 out there. Just saying. You can go for that. Ah, of course you want a big old boat like that is impractical as hell, but you never change. I mean, that could be an alright trade, to be honest. You know, and that Mustang's cool, too. And to be honest, you could probably write up a better ad for it and do videos with it and stuff like that, too. Just saying. That wouldn't be a bad trade. Okay, Robert, I've already said to not talk politics in my chat. If you do it once more, I will remove you from my chat. It doesn't even matter. See, here's the thing. I like Mustang 2s. Fun fact. There's a Mustang 2 that I would own if I ever got the money for it and if it happens to pop up for sale again. There is a purple and black, with like a vinyl top Mustang 2 notchback that was made by, he was a family friend of ours. His name is Mike. And there has been so much blood, sweat, and tears put into that car. No joke. It's had well over $100,000 put into that car. At one point, it had a 512 big block in it, with 3 stages of nitrous, and it was insane then. Now it's just a 408 stroker with about 400 horsepower with a 200 shot. But all right, goodbye, Robert. I warned you, and now you're just spewing all your shit. Actually, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back here. So, hold down the fort. I can probably still talk to you guys, because, yeah. Actually, I need to do this. Alright, hopefully... I haven't lost everybody in the chat yet, hopefully. obviously I have the headset on, so that's why you guys can hear me still. But yeah, my stomach isn't feeling so hot, so that's what I'm currently dealing with right now. All right. Hopefully that helps. Okay. Woo-wee. All right. Let's get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Wow, there's still 10 of you in here. Let's go. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I just scrolled through the chat, like... You guys having fun? I graduated in 2015, and the smart board started to come in when I was in junior high. But those early smart boards were terrible. Like, there was nothing good about them. You know, like, they were a great concept, but it took a few years with some software updates to actually get them to work right. But yeah, I still remember having the one of our classrooms actually did have a proper chalkboard in it. You know, with not just a whiteboard. But and that was always annoying with the chalkboard because how messy the classroom was because of it. It was great. Oh, there's lots of 80s Camaros up here, to be honest. Like, you know, you see quite a few of them, to be honest. Hey, it's all good, Joseph. You were just teasing, having fun. Nobody said anything too unruly or anything like that, so it's fine. Hey, Guns and Gears! It's going good. How are you doing? You know, have a little bit of a tummy ache, but other than that, you know. Think about a smart board like it's a whiteboard, but everything is digital on it. That's what a smart board is. And they use special pens, you know, that only work on the smart board that way. Which, here's the thing. They were so unreliable when they first came out, because they would break constantly. I don't know if they're any better now, but... Jeez. Yeah, I mean, we weren't that destructive growing up. Like, the worst thing we did was, because you know in the schools, they have those tiles in the roof that you could, you know, like, punch out, basically? Well, none of us at the time were quite tall enough to actually reach it properly, but one of our buddies, you know, he was the drummer in band, and he had his own drumsticks. So we would always steal his drumsticks, jump up, and put holes in the roof. By the time the school year was done, we probably put close to 100 holes in that roof. It's fun times. And then the other time, because if anybody has done wood chopping class before, is that you know how a lathe works, and they have two safeties on them, right? You do the one from the back, and there's one up front. but if you don't activate the one in the back, that piece of wood can come flying at you. I did watch a kid, and I saw him not do it, so I just kind of like sat there and just waited, and then all of a sudden, that piece of wood came out of the lathe and smacked him right in the head. I started howling, laughing, watching it. I should have had my phone out recording, but because that would have done rounds on Vine back in the day. And there's some people in the chat that might not remember Vine, but I do. Hey, Vine was fantastic. It's there's nothing quite like Vine anymore. Yes, are the stuff now more superior? Sure, but the videos were just better back then. I don't know. And hey, I mean, and out of the some of the people in the chat, like, I remember videos before YouTube. They were like full-length videos. Like Charlie the Unicorn, as an example, I didn't watch that on YouTube. I watched that on, oh god, what was that site called? Because there was a couple different sites before YouTube really took over. And it took a few years for YouTube to actually take off, but... Just Duck Simpson? No, it wasn't Daily Motion. There was another site. But, and even as an example, some of the first memes created of, there's that, that big dude, and he goes, my he, my who, my ha, right, like he's singing in that song and dancing to it. Like, that went viral on YouTube, but it also went viral on, I can't think of the site. That may have been Daily Motion. They're dead. Yeah, the Nova Kid. It was a simpler time. Like, there was just, the videos back then, top tier, man. Top tier. Nothing compares to that now, Boomers? Hey, you were born at that point, dude. Like, the time I'm talking about, like, you weren't that old, but you were around. Exactly, I'm only 28, so I will not take the respect from this Zoomer here. In my life in a small hell, every night in a hotel, I ain't seen the sunshine in 3 damn days. See, that's the thing. So I remember when I first met Joseph, and we started chatting, whatever else, because bear in mind, at the time he was only 15. And I remember, like, trying to talk to him about, like, the pain of, like, dial-up, or even, like, tube TVs. He never experienced that. He didn't experience having to go to Channel 3 to play your video games. Like, depending on the TV. Some were Channel 3, some were Channel 4. Depends on the TV. Or, like, as an example, like, PVRs. Again, the PVRs back in the day was TiVo, and hardly anybody could afford it. So nobody had it. Oh, I know. It's just kind of funny. Or even, like, going to Channel 2 to see what's on TV. And then the shitty part about that was, like, hey, if it was scrolling through and you weren't paying attention, then you had to scroll through it again You know? Hey, let's go. I mean, we had a big honker of a TV. Like, it was a 32-inch tube TV, and that thing was like 100 pounds. It was brutal, but it was great. Oh, you had a 42? Ooh, fancy. Fancy. Oh, see, here's the thing. My first phone was a flip phone. I went from a flip phone, which was a Motorola. It wasn't a Razr though. My family wasn't that fabulous. But then I went from that Motorola flip phone to a Palm Pre. That Palm Pre was still my favorite phone I've ever owned. It was tiny. Like, that phone was only about this big. And it had a slide out keyboard like a Crackberry did. And that thing was fantastic. And trust me, the software in that phone is way better than what we have now in Android and Apple. Way better. Just the hardware sucked in it, but way better. Hell, I remember Facebook when there wasn't Messenger, and my buddy, when I told him that I was messaging him on my phone on Facebook, he threw a conniption because he's like, "Holy crap, a phone can do that?" The good old days. This would have been circa about 2008, 2009, give or take. Oh yeah, like it was a much simpler time. You know, cars weren't really that bad yet. You know, they were still fairly reliable. You could still work on them. Stuff didn't cost them freaking shit ton. Gas was still cheap. You know, the good old days. You know, and actually going to a dollar store where everything in there is a dollar, something you can't do no more. You know, like I remember, um, I went to 7-Eleven every day during junior high for my lunches until I moved actually closer to home. Or like my home was much closer to the school, then that changed. But my parents gave me money every day. They gave me $7 every day for lunch. And I would go to 7-Eleven, get a big bite quarter pounder hot dog with a pop and a bag of Skittles, and it would cost me $5. Like, again, totally different time now, man. It's crazy. Hey, I do remember seeing those, right? It was great. Yeah, I mean, minimum wage was like $5, but hey, inflation hadn't gone dumb yet like it has now, right? See now, is it still here? So, oh yeah, I forgot because I went from a Motorola phone to because I still have my flip phone. This Nokia, which fun fact, if I actually plug this in, it still works. You know, I have at one point I did find the cord for it, which is a weird connection, right? But you know, and it's just awesome little thing, right? Has a little camera in it, and I remember like, cause don't get me wrong, I was a little immature when I had my phone, and so you know, what I always used to do is I'd open up the camera on it, and I'd take a picture of here, right? And then I'd show my friends and be like, "Hey, look, it's a butt," you know, dumb shit like that. We did it. Wow, you actually had a crackberry. Now, Blackberry Bold, hang on. When was... I need to look at the Blackberry Bold. Blackberry Bold. Okay, there's a couple different versions of it, but... Ooh, some of them can sell for a lot of money, actually. Yeah, it came out in 99. Let's go. It was great. Oh, so that's when BlackBerry came out. It came out in 2008. Nice. I mean, you could probably find a battery for it if you really wanted to revive it. Oof. I mean, I ran across that issue because I wasn't supposed to have data on this phone. But I did end up having data on this phone. So I kind of racked up a bill of like $2,000. And my mom threw a conniption at Rogers, and they removed that bill because of I wasn't supposed to have data. So you can't almost be my dad at all. Nowhere near. 1984? Put it this way, you would have been 12 if you were my dad. When I was born. So, not quite. Hey, sounds good, Ryan. Talk to you soon, man, and good luck with your projects. And okay, this stomach ache is not going away, so I'll be back again. Just you know, try not to go too buck wild in the chat. keeps up, I'll definitely have to end live, but hopefully. Hey, hi, Saber. I need to move, buddy. Ninkle. Oh. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you're really wanting to be that whole boomer vibe. Ugh. Yeah, no. This is not gonna work for me, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to end the live, but I appreciate you guys coming out. It was a fun live. Take care, and yeah. I'll be live again soon for sure. Peace out.